Hello everyone, we're going to talk about glues. Glues stick things together, which is a good thing when you're trying to design wonderful things. And I'm especially interested in talking about them in connection with prototyping and model building. And the go-to adhesive for many folks are PVA glues, polyvinyl acetate glues. And they come in a lot of different forms. And this is craft glue, that sort of thing. It's water soluble. The glue evaporates, and the adhesion is made by what's left after the water evaporates, so it's easy to clean up, and it can be used in a lot of different ways. So it can be clear and opaque and translucent. You can add coloration, all sorts of things to it. One way it's used is to make spray adhesives, so you can mix this PVA glue with water and make a spray adhesive, so it's very versatile that way, and it's safe. Then another category of glues that we use a lot are solvent adhesives. So most famously PVC cement, so if you're gluing PVC. So these are actually fusing the materials together. And these come in different viscosities, different cure rates, all sorts of specialty things. So they're used in plumbing, but they can be used in a lot of other areas as well. This is a preparatory chemical purple primer, which is acetone, which cleans the pipe. This one happens to be purple, so building inspectors can see it, but you can buy it in clear as well. So you don't discolor a model if you're working on that. Now for model building, of course, you have all these different types of polystyrene cements. So you're familiar with these probably. So this is a gel type, and these are brushable types. This one smells a bit like citrus, which is nice. And then you have sort of these titration versions too. And this one happens to be for clear panels, so that's kind of the specialty one in a way. Then you have the real strong glues, so we're thinking epoxies and polyurethanes. But before we look at those, let's look at super glues, the cyanoacrylate glues, CA glues, which many of you are familiar with. They come in different viscosities, and you can actually mix them with baking soda and things like that to get different effects. They adhere quickly to certain surfaces, not so quickly or maybe completely ineffectively in some other surfaces. So there's kickers available, accelerants, which could help these cure, especially with porous surfaces, so I use that a lot for wood. And you can use these in conjunction with other adhesives, like really strong adhesives like polyurethane. So these can set up your joint, and then while the other adhesive is curing. So really powerful things. With them, normally you get Dbonders. I happen to have two. I keep them fairly close by. To be honest, I've never had to use them on my fingers, but I have used them on some joints, like glass joints, to clean them up. So these dissolve super glue, CA glue, cyanoacrylate, whatever you like to call them. Then if we look at some of the strong glues like polyurethanes, like Sitka, this is Gorilla Glue. This happens to be a clearer version of it. Really strong glues. And they're used in industrial processes when you want to adhere something that you never want to separate. And that's exactly what it does. So if you're familiar with like RTV silicone, that will act that way. Those of you who've used great stuff's like a polyurethane and sticks to everything. So really strong glues. Then you have epoxies. These really aren't epoxies, but two-part epoxies, very strong, and you can do a lot of good things with those. And then I wanted to show some specialty adhesives. So here I have pressure-sensitive adhesives. These are applicators used in model building. So you can see a little PSA adhesive there. Tape, of course, works that way. And these are pressure-sensitive. Then I have some Bondo here, which is a strong adhesive also in its own way. Of course, it's used for preparing surfaces normally. And again, use a lot of PVA type glues, wood glues, for a lot of things. Then hot glue guns. And those of you that know me know I'm a big fan of hot glue guns because they're fast and they adhere anything to anything. And they do it by mechanical adhesion. They're not pretty. They kind of grab whatever you're gluing and grab the thing you're gluing it to and make them stick together. So it's just a low temperature plastic. There's low and high temperature versions, but they're very versatile and they're fast. Big advantage of those. So those are sort of an introduction to adhesives and a lot of categories of adhesives. And later I'll talk a little bit about the chemistry, the surface adhesion properties.